site reliability engineering, and cloud performance engineering and DevOps. Friend, this course I'm running up with Isha from last 4 years, and we run course in multiple durations. Like we have batches. We run over the weekends in the evening. We runs over the weekdays in the evening, and we are coming up with a new batch in the weekends. This time, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. IST. That will be the time frame for 2 hours over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So I'll go about the course. I'll give you a structure, what we cover in this course, right? And why do we cover these things? And then we'll make this interactive session. And you can ask me questions at any given point in time. So the course is, friends, SRE. It's for the SRE professionals aspiring the folks who are aspiring to become an SRE engineers, site reliability engineers. And this course is going to help performance engineers, those who are working in on-prem domain, and those who have not got exposure or looking for exposure in cloud domain, containerization domain, engineering domain, performance engineering domain. So this course is going to help them. It's not for the performance. We are not covering any performance testing tool here like Jmeter. It's not a performance testing tool course, right? It's as the name suggests, is the SRE course, site reliability engineering course. So if you look at this SRE professional, friends, we overall there are a couple of skill sets that we require to become an SRE engineer. I'll open a notepad before I talk about the content and the course topics, right? I'm gonna put a notepad for everybody's benefit, and let me just lay out a few things. See, we need to have for SRE. SRE stands for Site Reliability Engineering. It's very much related to like under DevOps umbrella. Again, what is DevOps? We'll talk about it. And is very much in line with performance engineering professionals, those who have already worked on performance testing or continue to work on performance testing and engineering. So those are the perfect candidates to become SRE engineers. So who all try to become SRE engineers? The performance engineers, performance testers, engineers, those who have exposure and worked upon performance testing in performance engineering domain, they look to become SRE. That's one. Because we'll talk about what all different aspects that is required. So being a performance tester or engineer, you have a knowledge of the performance testing tool. Any tool could be Jmeter, LoadRunner, Gatling, Locust, and you have some troubleshooting mindset. You know how to troubleshoot any application. You know the response time, the load, the errors, and what all to look at, how throughput, response time are related. You understand the basic of observability monitoring, right? You do troubleshooting, you find the root cause and help improve the performance of the application. So for them, SRE is going to be very ideal skill set to be. I request others to be on mute. You can ask me questions at any given point in time. Now, apart from performance testers, if you are a DevOps professional, they're very much, they look for SRE skill set, because as a DevOps professional, you are already involved into deployment. You know how to deploy the application. You know how the automation, like various automation works. So being an SRE engineers, DevOps engineers also look to become SRE engineers, because SRE engineers, we work in production environment. See, as a performance tester, what we do, we test in local or in low environment. We test in QA2 performance environment, but as an SRE, we need to work in production systems. We need to cater to. Okay. I request everybody to be on mute. It is best, friends. You can unmute yourself in case of any questions. Thank you so much. So being a performance tester engineer, you work in lower environment, but as an SRE professional, we're supposed to work in production environment. What is the main objective? We want to make customer experience better. As a performance tester engineer also, that's your main expectation, right? Or The main objective is to make the user experience the best through best performance, better availability, scalability, right? We need to make sure. And that's what the same SRE engineer does. But the only thing is that SRE engineers work in production. And there are other aspects also. You need to have some additional skills than a performance tester to become an SRE engineer. Now, the DevOps professional understands that how to deploy the code in various environments. How do we automate some mundane tasks? They have good understanding of deployment and automation. And they also they also aspire to become SRE engineers because SRE engineers have more visibility, more control, better paychecks, right? So they also want to become SRE engineers so that they understand they work in production systems for the customer success. Now you can also be a cloud support engineers, cloud engineer or cloud support, and you can aspire to become right, you can aspire to become an SRE professional. So primarily, if you ask me, and one more thing, sys admin people, like system administration people, those who have into the like in the on-prem world, if you have been into Linux admin or system admin, sysadmin, we call it Linux admin, you have good understanding of the deployment and the infrastructure. They also become SRE professionals. So primarily, these four candidates, ideal candidates to become SRE engineers. There are developers as well, because I have myself been a developer. So I'll introduce about my career profile. If you are a developer as well, because as being a developer, you focus on writing your code and that's it. But if you have development knowledge and if you know how SRE engineers works, the mindset it works, how to deploy things, you know the full scale. So even developers, they aspire to become SRE engineers. So there are multiple skills in the industry. They try to become SRE professionals, friends. And that's where this SRE is a very important skill set. If you go to any job portal, go to LinkedIn or go to Naukri, you would see that there are a lot of requirements for SRE engineers. And you need to understand the job description, what are the exact expectations that you have, and accordingly you can apply for the role. So coming to me, friends, I have overall 18 years experience in IT. I started my career as a Java developer. I was completely development, core Java development activity for the first 4 years of my career. And then I moved into performance engineering. I have done performance engineering, hardcore performance in tuning the code. I have been tuning the code, optimizing the performance of the application for 6 years extensively. And then I moved into DevOps skill set. Currently I'm working as a principal SRE with one of the reputed retail giants of the world. On the cloud part, I have got multiple certification in various clouds. I have worked on AWS, Azure, GCP, OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. These four cloud providers I have worked on. I'm a Kubernetes expert, Terraform expert. So I'm a DevOps and SRE consultant, friends. That's a background about me. And that's why this course is coming up with because it's high popular and there's not many structured courses out there in the market, and that's why we are coming up with this course. And we cover everything that's required to become an SRE engineer. So I'll go about the course. I'll just go about the high level, friends, about the course, and then I'll share this link with all of you. I'll share this link, friends. 1 second. Yeah, so let me. And so if you look at this, the first thing that we cover, friends, we start with the cloud knowledge. See, that's one of the important thing. Why cloud is important, friends? See, everything is getting deployed in the cloud nowadays. It's not on-prem. There are companies, those who have on-prem infrastructure. But if you look at companies around, they all use cloud infrastructure. So we need to have good understanding of cloud. We need to have good understanding of cloud, friends. And we take up AWS course here. We take up AWS course in detail. We cover in a level where you can also go for the certification after few guidance and after spending some time after doing the hands-on. Friends, you can become solution architect certified. You can go for this certification SAAC03, solution architect associate certification, we call it. So we cover in this course to that level that you can go for the solutions architect associate. Not professional level, that requires some additional hands-on, but you can definitely go for this certification, friends. We cover up to that level. And we do it from very scratch. There is not much prerequisite for this. If you know basics of IT, you know, if you understand port, you understand server basics, if you have basic understanding of IT, we require that, right? And we will be sorted after this. So we cover the cloud, friends. Along with that, see what I have observed that people lack at Linux. See, what is the role of an SRE engineer? We need to make sure that the customer experience is better. We need to also have the deployment knowledge, apart from the troubleshooting knowledge, how to resolve a problem, how to drill down to the problem. How do you understand the solution architecture? We need to also sometimes understand how the deployment works. And you know, the 95, 98% of the deployment happens in the Linux server. We need to have Linux knowledge. So we cover the Linux as well from basics, from scratch. Everything is from scratch. That's the USP of this course, I would say. And that's what everybody likes about this. We take it from scratch. Everything is from scratch. So if you don't know Linux, let's say if I ask you, how do you open a file in Windows and edit something and save it? Most of you would be able to answer. I'll open a file, double click on a file, and I will, using the cursor, you will go to a place, you will make the edit, you will do save it, and you exit that file and it's done. But if I ask you how you do in Linux, not all of you would be able to answer, is what my experience is. Yeah, I'm not saying all of you would not be able to answer. No, you will be able to answer, but we don't have exposure is what I have understood. When you work, we don't have exposure, and we need to have exposure, friends, on the Linux part. And that's where we need to have a thorough understanding of Linux. How do we SSH? How do we create server? How do we connect to the Linux machine? And how we work? Because eventually your application was running on the Linux server. And if you want to troubleshoot something, you need to get inside the Linux server, check for logs and issue some commands, check the Linux health. You know, you need to be comfortable with Linux. So we cover Linux. The third thing that we cover in this course, friends, is the microservices space. All the deployments, all the development in today's world, we're happening in microservices. We are not developing monolithic applications. Monolithic means like every code put together, right? Packaged together. We have a lot of disadvantages of monolithic applications. That's why we cover microservices in this course. What is microservices? Uh, how different it is from monolithic applications. What is the benefits of microservices? Where do we deploy microservices? We talk about containers. Containerization, we have a concept called containerization. We talk about Docker. We talk about Kubernetes. And in detail, friends, it's not like just a theoretical, we do hands-on. Everything is hands-on. I'm going to show you how do we create Kubernetes cluster, how do you install Docker, how do you create containers, how do you deploy microservices, how do you create Kubernetes cluster. So if I just show you the course content, friends, this is the cloud part of the course content that we cover. Everything is hands-on here. I'll share this link with you. Let me share with you right away. We cover cloud this much. If you're coming to the Linux part, we cover this much of Linux. Again, from very scratch. Then we talk about, as I told you, we cover about the microservices, the difference between microservices, monolithic applications. Where do we deploy things? Container, containerization, Docker. We talk about Kubernetes and everything is hands-on. I'm going to show you how do we create EKS cluster, how it works, how the auto scaling happens in Kubernetes. In the cloud, we'll talk about how the auto scaling happens in the VM. Auto scaling, load balancing, auto scaling happens in the VM, virtual machines. And in the Kubernetes part, we'll talk about in the pods, containerization, how auto scaling happens in the case of Kubernetes, pods. Then we talk about Jenkins, friends. We cover the automation perspective. That's important to become an SRE engineer. We talk about Jenkins, the integration tool, continuous integration tool. You might have heard of CI/CD pipeline. How, when the developer writes the code, how can we make the deployment? How can we take that code to the prod at the earliest? How can we deploy the code to the prod? Using CI/CD pipeline, we talk about here. And various other automation. We'll talk about that. We cover Jenkins. We talk about continuous performance testing in DevOps. How do you integrate a performance job? Let's say you have a script in Jmeter. How do you integrate your performance job to the CI/CD pipeline? We call it continuous performance testing in DevOps. Right? How performance engineering fits in DevOps. So if you look at this, friends, performance engineering in DevOps, how performance engineering fits in DevOps. We'll talk about that. We have a lot of things we cover. Then, friends, we start our journey on SRE. These things are very much important to make the base for our next discussion, where we take SRE concepts. What is SRE? What is reliability? What do we mean by reliability? How do we achieve high availability? What is fault tolerance? There are various disaster recovery. How do we plan for disaster recovery? What to do in case of disaster recovery? How do you make sure your application is reliable? So we cover about a lot of things in the SRE part, friends. And then we talk about observability tools we have. We talk about observability tools like monitoring tools. We talk about Prometheus Grafana here. And we talk about Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. Elasticsearch, Filebeats. We talk about this observability. And how do we install? How do we set up? How do we create dashboards? To that level we cover. We talk about, because as an SRE engineer should be very good at troubleshooting. So we talk about Java performance engineering. Java performance engineering. How do you troubleshoot Java applications? What are different issues could happen for the Java applications? How JVM works, how memory management works in Java. What is garbage collection? What is shallow heap, retained heap? How do you analyze heap dump? How do you analyze GC logs? How do you analyze thread dump? How do you analyze things? How do you find the root cause? What to do after you find the root cause? We discuss all these things here in the Java performance engineering. We talk about automation tools because as an SRE engineer, we need to be good at automation. We talk about Terraform. Talk about Ansible. Automation tools. Friends. So, and we cover Database as well. Database, cloud database performance. How do we work with cloud databases? Reliability and performance. For reliability, cloud database for reliability and performance. How do we, what is cloud? How do we like create, manage database services? Cover that. So if you look at this, friends, we cover a lot of things or everything, I would say, what is required to become an SRE engineer, aspiring SRE engineers. So if you look at this software architecture, already covered part, performance engineering, how do we gain resiliency against part of SRE, observability, Java performance engineering we cover. How do we eliminate toil using Terraform and Ansible? Again, shell scripting we are as covered as part of Linux as well. Here we cover shell scripting. This is very much important for the automation, friends. And along with that, friends, we provide you recorded sessions for Java and Python programming, recorded sessions. So if you look at this, so we have, see, this is a very vast syllabus. You might have think, because I always get this, that Rasan, you have such a vast syllabus. How many days you take to cover this? So earlier we used to take a lot of time, friends. We used to take 5 months to complete this, and it was not that much. So it was getting overwhelming to condense 5 months. So what we have done, we have split few things as a recorded session, because it's going to be my recorded sessions, and we have split and we do work live sessions. So if you look at the Linux part, because it's a very basic thing and everybody should know that we have given, it's my recording, we have been given as part of recorded session. But I would like to focus on cloud, and I expect you to go over the recorded session. So we have split this so that we can cover most other things. And it's not much, 3.5 hours of content. I'll show you the content. On the Java performance engineering, friends, because like most of my audience, they know Java, they know performance testing, and they need some guidance on the engineering part. So we have recorded session, and it's kind of 10 hours of content here. We give as part of recorded session. That's all. Everything else is live sessions, friends. These are my recording sessions. This will be not my recorded session. This will be, we're giving like an additional bundle with this course. Because if you're looking for some course, some dedicated course, so all are my recorded sessions here. Everything is my recorded session. This is mine, but this is not mine. This is very good trainers from the Isha Training Solutions, not mine. So it's not my recorded session. So I'm going to just be clear about it here. It's not mine. Apart from that, whatever you see is going to be my content. But people were asking it. So we have just bundled this kind of an additional thing along with the course. Friends. We give this. So this is what the course content is, friends. Entire course content. And that's what we go over in this. One of the, like, always people ask questions like, do we have any PPT or any commands, any kind of thing? Yes, we do have. We have a lot of content. So I'm going to share this. Once you enroll to this, you'll be added to this Google Drive. Like a lot of folks are already part of this. I'll be giving you I'll be adding you here, and you'll be given access to all the things here. And it has got, look at the cloud part, right? So you can find a lot of good PPTs here to refer. If you look at this, the depth that we cover cloud, again, from very scratch, you did not have any prior knowledge. That's what I take up. You don't need to have, even if you're listing cloud for the first time, all I need is the enthusiasm for you to learn, willingness to learn, and you're ready to spend some time. If you have these two things, then this is the perfect thing for you to upskill with. So we cover in detail, friends. If you look at it, we have approximately 150 slides here in the cloud part. On the Linux part, we cover from everything from very scratch. From the command perspective, we cover each and every directory navigations. How do we do that? And that's what we do, everything hands-on. I'll execute these things, um, everything. On the Docker Kubernetes part, we cover this. We have what is microservices, monolithic applications, Docker commands that we have. We have this Kubernetes part. Let me first show you the Docker part. This is the Docker part. If you look at this, we have how from the microservice architecture, how it looks, to Docker architecture, how the Docker architecture looks like, how do we deploy Docker container lifecycle, how do we install Docker, the various commands that we have, how do we create Docker image, and I don't want to overwhelm you with you. So a lot of things we cover in a very structured manner. And then we have the SRE we cover about the databases, as I told you some time back, the database engineering. How do you make sure you are highly available in the database? So if you know, we have a concept of multi-AZ, we can create the database in multiple AZs. And we do this kind of architecture, we will create this kind of architecture to become highly available. To increase the performance, we have something called read replicas. We'll talk about various databases we have in the AWS. We'll cover that. On the SRE part, again, we have this is the DevOps part, friends, where we talk about Jenkins. This is the DevOps part where we talk about CI/CD pipeline. So I'm going to make you understand how do we create pipeline. This is the pipeline that I'm going to create in this session. This is the pipeline I'm going to create using Jenkins. I'm going to install Jenkins and I'm going to create jobs and execute the jobs. We'll create such pipeline. When we talk about SRE, various concept of SRE, the disaster recovery, as I told you, everything. What is reliability? How do you define a well-architected framework? Different pillars of a well-architected framework. What is resilience? How do you define reliability? High availability. How do you become highly available in the cloud infrastructure? Fault tolerance. Again, what is disaster recovery? What are things to cover? RPO, RTO, and various other things, various terminologies that we have. SLAs, SLOs, SLIs, how do you define it? How do you manage your incident, change management, various roles and responsibilities of an SRE engineers. And on the Java, friends, we have we have automation as well, monitoring as well. Again, from Java performance engineering, we will talk about JVM architecture, different memory, how Java manages memory, right? So I don't want to overwhelm you if you are not sure on these things, friends. So we cover in detail how various JVM how different JVMs are work, how they do garbage collections, what are different criteria we do garbage collections, uh, serial, parallel, concurrent, and what happens when parallel GC happens, what happens when the in the CMS, what happens in the G1 GC, what are different steps involved in parallel GC, full GC, serial GC, again, heap dump, a lot of details, right? Trade dump and everything in detail we cover, friends, and how it manages infrastructure, how it manages things. We have a lot of documents to share in the Java performance engineering. I have been with Oracle for 4 years, so very good insights on these things. So yeah, friends. So again, on the monitoring part, we have Elastic Stack and Prometheus Grafana, as I was explaining you, how Elastic Stack works, how Prometheus Grafana works, how do we set up, how do we install Elasticsearch, Logstash, Kibana for the monitoring, how it works, first of all, how ELK works, how do we install things, what is Elastic Stack, Kibana, we create dashboards, friends. Same thing for Prometheus Grafana we do. With commands, everything is hands-on. I'm going to make you install things, monitoring tools, and show you dashboards, right? On the eliminating toil part, uh, Terraform and Ansible. So, so that's, I don't want to go in detail, friends. Just know that we cover a lot of things, and I'm going to give you access to uh, everything here. Uh, Kubernetes, I think I did not cover the Kubernetes part, right? The Kubernetes as well, the very important topic, Kubernetes. Container orchestration engine, how Kubernetes works, how do we create EKS cluster, how do we create Kubernetes cluster, how auto scaling happens, HPA, horizontal pod auto scaling, cluster auto scaling, how services works. So every detail of it, friends. If you look at this HPA, if you look at this, we have the architecture of how do we read a YAML for Kubernetes. What is services? We have cluster IP, node port, load balancer service. How auto scaling works in Kubernetes, very important. HPA for the performance engineers, for SRE engineers, how auto scaling works. So we cover EC2 and HPA, how it works. How do we make sure HPA, how to put the criteria for auto scaling. So all those things, friends, we cover in this. So I have just summarized it here, friends. One of the other questions that I've been asked that how long it takes to complete this course. So friends, if you ask me, we take approximately 3 months. 3 months to complete this course. We will meet over the weekends, 1.5 hours to 2 hours, depending on how much you're able to take it up. We meet over the weekends, 2 days, and we meet only over the weekends, and then you practice. We cover things, hands-on things, and you practice. You're expected to practice things and ask me questions in the next session. I'll be available over the WhatsApp. We'll have a WhatsApp group like this. If you look at the current batches that's going on, I have 2 batches going on. I'll show you my phone. So we have 2 batches going on. Weekends batch uh, uh, started in March, still going, and we have the weekdays evening batch that's going on. So we have 2 batches going on, friends, as we speak right now. So we will be added to such a group. Will be added here, and I'll be part of the group. And you can ask me questions. Uh, you can connect offline as well. First, you can call me. I'm not. I'll not promise that I'll be available all the time because I'm a working professional. I may not be available, but over the weekends, definitely 10 minutes, 15 minutes, we can discuss if you have any questions. I can help you, give you some insights how to go ahead with your any personal thing that you're working on or having some challenges in the day-to-day work. You'll be given, so all the system will be recorded. All the sessions that we take up will be recorded, and you'll be given a playlist like this. You'll be, as we speak right now, I was showing you, right, WhatsApp group. So once let me show you again. Once we, let's say over the weekends, last weekends, we have attended the course. So you'll be added like this. We have a playlist. Once I complete the session, the recording will be uploaded here. So that's what we do. So if you come here, I'll show you the playlist that it is there for the weekends batch. So look at this, started with 1st of March, and we are in May now, and we are done with 17 sessions. And on daily basis, we'll be giving the recorded sessions like this. When we complete things, we'll be giving the recorded sessions. And as I told you, for the recorded sessions, you'll be already given. So when you enroll to the course, I'll be giving you the Linux part. And you can ask me, this is my recorded sessions. I used to take it live, but just to manage it, we split into recorded sessions. This will be given, you will be given access to the Linux and then the Java performance engineering. You can very much go ahead and ask me questions. We can discuss for Yeah, discuss. So Java performance engineering. This is what we gave us the recording, but it's my recording still. Again, gonna be my recording session. So we just decided in the interest of that you get maximum benefit and you have the recorded plus live sessions and you get time you can get to ask and you learn most of the things in a 3 months, 2.5 months or 3 months time frame. That's why we have decided this. Along with that, they're going to be my recorded sessions. You'll be given Java and Python recorded session as well. Again, disclaimer, that's not my recorded session, Java. You will not see me speaking there. You will see other highly qualified trainer from ISA. We have taken this attached part of bundle with Java and Python, looking for anybody who's looking to become a one place where you can have the details, you can find it. So very full-fledged Java and Python in a very detailed manner from ISA is what we have arranged. So that's all I wanted to cover today, friends. If you have any questions about the course, if I have missed out to highlight anything, you can ask me any question. Anybody, feel free to ask.
Hello, Roshan sir.
Yes, go ahead.
It was a very nice introduction. You can hear me?
Yes, you're audible. Yeah.
It is a very interesting and very informative, very detailed introductory lecture. I really like it. Actually, I just wanted to ask that I've just started to move into the IT sector, and I've just done initial online courses available on Udemy related to Linux administration. And actually, I just wanted to pursue a career in Linux and DevOps only. So, what do you think that I would be able? Is this the right thing to adopt right now for going for this SRE course, or I should stick to the basics of Linux administration and DevOps only?
See, when you say DevOps, right, you already cover cloud. You need to know cloud. You need to know microservices, container, Docker, Kubernetes. You need to know Jenkins already. You need to know these things already as part of DevOps. These four
Right.
things is covered in DevOps also. If you look at the DevOps any course, you will see they're covering these things as well. What we cover addition to what you require to become an SRE engineer from a troubleshooting mindset. So this is where these things helps. What we cover from the SRE perspective, SRE observable. So this course, whatever you are going over Udemy, if you think you can manage it because you are transitioning from a different career, is what I have understood, and you are trying to migrate to IT. And if you think you can manage, see, every detail is available online if you explore everything. Why do you need a trainer like me? Because to make things simple for you, to keep you motivated, to keep you in the right track. That is why
Right.
you need a guidance. If not, everything is available. Everything is available. If I want to today, let's say,
Very right.
right? If I want to learn data mining today or data engineering today, there are a lot of contents available. But mostly what happens, we get lost. That's what
Right.
my understanding is. Because even if I try to do myself, I want to accelerate my career. I want to find a catalyst which can accelerate my career. That's where it's always better to go to a trainer who has industry experience, can get you the real insights, can keep you on
Very
the
right.
right track so that you can achieve your goal. So that is why you need a trainer. So if you think you can manage it online, perfectly fine. If you have that confidence, go ahead.
No.
But looking into this course content will definitely help you if you're looking to become a DevOps professional, because anyway you require these things.
Okay, and one more question. Actually, you are very right. Having a connection or having a guideline from a true professional really helps a lot. No doubt. What an professional can tell you in 5 minutes, you won't be able to learn in 5 days. It's no doubt about that. My question is, as you know that I'm moving to from a different sector to IT. I've just have some basic knowledge. I've just done basic courses into the Linux administration courses. I'll be able to do it. Do you think, or I need to have a certain certification, a
See,
certain
if you are,
definite background?
I'll tell you one insight. I get you. If you think by just doing Linux admin you can get a job in today's IT market, you are not correct. You're not thinking right. Nobody. There was a time where on-prem infrastructure was on prime, and there was a skill called Linux admin, Linux administrator. There used to be a skill. Nowadays,
Right,
go to LinkedIn, go to Naukri, search Linux admin. You will not find that skill. Hardly one or two. That skill is called DevOps nowadays. And a DevOps engineer is expected to know the Linux part. They're expected to know the because see there is no more Linux. Now we are migrating, we are deploying things in containers, we are deploying your applications in Kubernetes, we are using cloud, we do automation during deployment. So if you don't know these things, your Linux is one part of it, 20% of it. Of it, the entire DevOps that you're talking about, Linux contribute to 20% of it. You need to have additional knowledge to get you things to learn to become a DevOps professional. So
right, sir.
don't think Linux by learning Linux you can get a job. Very difficult. You need to have a fully DevOps knowledge, and we cover DevOps part as well here. As I told you, DevOps professional also look to become SRE engineers. That is also covered as part of here. Everywhere, right? Linux admin also have put it here. Those who also try to become SRE. So they need to learn a lot of things. They need to learn cloud, Linux admin people. They need to learn container, Docker, Kubernetes, Jenkins, and other concepts to become SRE engineers.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Roshan,
Yes.
just I want to know, like, can we cover the cloud Azure, or you're going with AWS only?
Oh no, no. There again, yes, I get this question. See, I'll tell you, we cover AWS. Why? I'll cover. I'll tell you this. See, first of all, we cover it from scratch, and we want to give you. I don't want to like confuse a lot of things. If we cover multiple cloud again, this course will go more than three
No,
months,
not
which I don't.
multiple. Up, I'm saying like
I'm coming.
rather
I'm
than
coming to your answer.
AWS.
Just give
Yeah.
me 2 minutes. I'm coming to your question. You'll
Okay.
get you'll get your answer. So why we take AWS? Because it's popular. It's the it's the market share is more. Means most likely you're gonna go for the interview where you will be asked questions in the AWS. And one more thing, if you know one cloud, any cloud, because I have worked on 4 cloud, it's not like I have learned all the 4. I started with AWS, and that's how I picked it up. If you know any one cloud, the use case remains the same. Let's say I'll tell you what's your background, Aditya. I'll just give you the reference of that.
Performance engineering.
Performance engineering. Let's say somebody knows Jmeter. Let's say that the concept like correlation, parameterization, scripting, right? It is common across any tool. Either you use LoadRunner, Sleep Performer, or any other tool, you have the similar concept. The UI changes, the way you do it changes. Similar to that, in the cloud also, if you know AWS, let's say, why people use cloud? Because I need to get the server to deploy my web server, app server, database server. I need storage. I need to store a lot of content like Netflix uses AWS to store all the content. I need to know, I need to have load balancer. I need auto scaling enabled. I need to use Kubernetes thing. In the cloud, in the AWS, we call it EKS. In Azure, we call it AKS. See, the fundamental thing is if you know one cloud, you can easily learn other cloud. I'll give you one of the better example. I'll give you a link today. If you know Azure, let's say you are, since you're talking about Azure, if you know Azure, I'll share a link with you. We call it comparecloud.in. In this link, what covers, if you have a service in AWS, if you want to get the server, we call it EC2. EC2
Right.
is a service name.
Right.
And the same thing we call in Azure called virtual machine. And the same thing in GCP we call compute engine. See, the look and feel of the cloud will change, but the use case will remain the same. You will get the server here, here as well as here. Or in OCI we call this here. Somebody asked me, Roshan, I want to use Huawei or Alibaba. Can you help me? Yes, it doesn't matter. The look and feel will change. I can definitely find it. Because if you ask for a server, you will be prompted to select how much core you need, how much RAM you need, how much disk you need. That's all. And then you will be able to create the server. Only the look and feel will change. I will spend some time in the look and feel, but eventually I will be able to do the job. So best thing is learn any one cloud, learn good, and then you can easily learn other. I hope I answered your question, Aditya.
Yeah, Roshan. Roshan, so
Yes.
one more question I have.
Yeah.
So I'm starting my SRE journey from today only. Like I want to switch from performance engineering to SRE. So just wanted to know what is the role and responsibility for SRE engineers, and in to get into the SRE, we should focus on all the parts of SRE, or if we go with let's say monitoring part, if you go with that, so it is possible to enter into the SRE.
See, monitoring is one part of it, as I told you.
Right,
See,
right.
as a SRE engineer, I'll tell you the roles and responsibility. We need to make sure that the customer experience is supreme. Let's say you are an SRE engineer for Flipkart.com, let's say, a retail website, right? Let's say Flipkart has some issues. Could be performance issues, could be uptime issues, downtime happened, or performance issues. We need to resolve the issue in production. See, you were performance engineers, you mostly working in the lower environment, right? QA, performance environment, whatever you call environment, you call it. You have not felt that heat in production because production, you need to fix the issue right now. There is no scope. You need to have remediation steps also. You can have two environment. You can switch your traffic from primary cluster to DR, disaster recovery cluster, and you can start working on your troubleshooting activity. So the way you troubleshoot remains the same. If whenever you run a performance test, load test, you know the issues that we see, or we check for the usage, CPU utilization, and we check for response time. We check for various so many parameters we check. So we need to fix the issue in production. That's one of the things. So it's going to be very demanding in that way. And that's why that you get paid for that also. You get rewarded for that also. Because your project is very much important. Good SRE engineers are very much respected across in the industry because you're solving the real problem. See, how much ever you try simulating the production load, nobody can simulate all the use cases. Do you agree with me, Aditya? In low environment?
Right.
How much ever you try simulating, okay, I'm a performance engineer, I'm simulating the load and I'm testing it. Okay, but you cannot assure that the issue will not happen in production, right? Because there could be some of the production behavior, the use case scenario totally different. So issues are bound to happen. We need to admit this first. And how to resolve that? So we do alerting. When we talk about observability, one of the important things as an SRE engineer that we need to set up alerts for all the dashboards, CPU alerts, availability uptime alerts, the response time alerts, so that we get time. We don't want to get involved when it has already gone bad, right? I don't want, let's say, see, when a system starts to disrupt or starts to show anomalies of any problem, it will show its symptoms, right? Some 502 will come, 500, 5x6, 4x6 will come, right? It will not happen that application is down. It will not happen. Rarely it happens that application is down. So we need to create alerts for everything, for errors, exceptions, for CPU, memory, for response time. For every metrics, we create alerts and we get notified. Upon notification, we can put some criteria or priority to that alerts. It is P0, P1, like how soon we need to address this. If you based on your criteria, I'll talk about that. How do you decide? Let's say you got P0 alert, means you have to issue, you have to fix it right now. Then you don't have anything. You have to leave whatever you're doing and you need to get to that problem. So that sense of urgency, you need to understand the problem. Customer cannot suffer. If Flipkart is having issues or any retail website is issue, the entire company reputation is at stake, right? And we need to make sure that gets fixed. Uh, Customer is the like supreme thing, and that's what we need to realize being an SRE engineer working in production systems, that we need to address those issues and we do whatever it can. So we set up right alerts so that, and we set up proactive alerts so that we get notified earlier before the real issue happens, and we fix this issue. That's what we do. We do troubleshooting, and that's why we require this good knowledge of troubleshooting. We need to have very good troubleshooting knowledge. We need to have good understanding of cloud. If you don't, because this application is deployed in cloud, and if you don't know how it is deployed, what are different parameters will it impact the availability of performance, if you don't understand that, if you don't understand the Docker Kubernetes implementation, whether auto scaling working or not working, why 502 came, did you have the infrastructure issue? So if you need to have all these things into consideration to troubleshoot the issue. So to answer your question, the customer experience is the best, and whatever it requires, it could be performance issues, it could be availability issue. We need to make sure that the customer does not have any issues in production, and that's what differentiates SRE as compared to performance engineers. Aditya,
Okay.
hope I answered
Thank
your
you.
question.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. Yes, Sabha, go ahead.
Yeah, the sixth point you told, right, that are we going to install and do the hands-on and Prometheus and Grafana, or just we will be working on creating the dashboards and panels?
Yeah, we will, without installing, how can we create the dashboard panels? So we will install it first, right? And then I'm going to show you how do we create dashboards and panels. Same thing for Elastic Stack.
Okay, so we will get any platform to work on that. I mean,
Correct. You will create platform. That's why we need the cloud knowledge. We will create the server in the cloud.
Okay, got it. Thanks. Thank you.
Everybody, you all will have platform, your platform. I'm going to create in my server. You will create in your server.
So the same goes for, I mean, regarding that Terraform and Ansible. So we will have
hands-on. What is Terraform? How do we create infrastructure? How do we automate Ansible? Everything is hands-on, no theoretical. We need to talk about little theoretical here. That because what is SRE? How do you do disaster recovery? What is SLOs, SLAs, SLIs? How do you do incident management incident? So this is going to be 2-3 sessions of theoretical sessions. But apart from that, everything is practical, friends.
Thank you.
Mostly everything is hands-on. Yeah. Any other questions?
Hello.
Yeah.
Roshan,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah. What about like as a sir, like
Could you be louder, please? Go ahead. Could be louder
hello?
little. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Venkatesh, go ahead.
So which part they you already covered in weekday session?
Weekday, every same course, we are almost we are 14 sessions completed in weekdays. We have covered. If you want to know how many days I have covered for the weekdays, I can give you. Where is the group? Wait, I can tell you exact, but with the same thing we cover.
Which parts you covered? Like cloud you started or SRE?
No. I'm still in the cloud part. I'm still in the cloud part. So 12, 13 sessions over. Yeah. Weekends batch, they are. I have already started with the containers here in the weekends part. In the weekdays batch, I have waited the week. 1 second. I'll just get it this. Yeah. So in the weekdays part, friends, if you look at this, I'll just get the recorded session. I have mostly covered in the weekdays. I am right now doing with the storage service in the cloud. I'm covering storage service. So 14 sessions here in the weekdays, and yeah, 17 sessions there in the weekends. So I'm already like some 30 to 40% there in both the batches.
So these,
Yeah, hi Roshan.
Roshan,
I
like
Yeah.
just shared.
one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Roshan, regarding that Prometheus, Grafana and all.
Could you be louder, Venkatesh?
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah. Could you be louder? You're audible. Could you be louder? That's all. You could ask your question. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm having some issues with my laptop, I think. So, like, if you learn like this Grafana, Prometheus and all, it could be similar in even if I go to GCP also, right? Similar thing. That concept
This
would
is
be
open
similar.
source. It is not
Yes.
AWS service. It's open source. So I'm going to create a server and I'm going to do things. So it
Okay.
doesn't matter wherever you are. Server is server. You can get it from GCP, AWS, because I'm going to show you it's open source.
Okay.
There's something called Grafana Cloud. I will not talk about Grafana Cloud. There is something called Elastic Cloud also. I'm
Okay.
not going to talk about that. It's open source. So we will install things and we're going to create a server and install things, and I'm going to do things there.
Yeah.
So yeah. So if you look at this, if I show you one of the, if I show you, if I can show you, friends. Correct. So that's your answer. I can show you what we cover. So we create the server. I can share. You can ask me one question. I'm gonna just show you something for you. I'm gonna just trying to show you. The others, please ask your
So, so Ro-
questions. Go
okay,
ahead.
so Roshan, it means Roshan, I'm audible to you.
Yeah, audible.
Okay, so you mean to say you are going to utilize the services for Grafana and Prometheus when we are doing this cloud activity, is it right?
I'm gonna install Prometheus. I'm gonna install
And
Grafana. I'm gonna
in the
create
cloud, right?
dashboard in the
Okay,
AWS
okay,
service. Correct. In the server. That's right.
okay. AWS, EC, right? EC instance, right?
Yes.
Okay.
EC2 instance.
So whatever activities we are doing in the
If you
desktop,
look at
like
this,
let's
I
say
have
example,
just playing. I'm just showing you one of the recorded session. I'm showing you a recorded session. If you look at this, I'm installing things. Prometheus, I'm installing things. If you look at this, I'm installing all the commands of Prometheus and I'm setting up Grafana. That's what you will see. So I'm talking about everything here. And at this kind of graphs, I'll be coming up. So yeah. You got it, right? I hope. Friends, I'm audible to you, everybody? Yeah. Yeah. So
yes, yes, Roshan.
that's the real session would look like. So this is what we do. So I'm going to
Okay,
install
apart from the
things. Go ahead.
okay, let's example apart from this Grafana and Prometheus, is there any other way
Yeah.
of doing this? What are the services we are going to get?
See, there are so many
That
monitoring tools. Okay, there are so many monitoring tools. We have
Mhm.
Dynatrace, AppDynamics, New
No,
Relic.
no, no.
There are
I'm talking in terms of this cloud AWS part only. Like AppDynamics,
oh,
Dynatrace,
you have
that's
CloudWatch. You have CloudWatch.
yeah,
We do
CloudWatch.
cover as part of the course. So we
Okay.
have CloudWatch. I have just not named it, but let me show you.
Uh,
If you go
the
to that
CloudWatch is
link,
also
correct, it's a
yes.
monitoring service. If you go to the link,
Mhm.
if you go to the link, so CloudWatch we cover as part of the course. Observability, if you go, we cover CloudWatch as well. So yeah.
Okay, okay, understood then. And one more last question from my side, like nowadays the chaos testing also is very boom and
Correct.
then
I'm
like
going to
in
add
one.
it. Yes, I will talk about chaos engineering. Without chaos engineering, we cannot complete SRE. Chaos will be added. Yes, I'm going to talk about it. Yes. Add
chaos engineering.
add this to list. Yes, add this to list. I'm gonna add this to chaos engineering. Chaos engineering. Yes, I'll talk about it. What it is, how do we do that? I'm going to talk about it. Yes.
Is any practical part of this, whatever?
Right,
Chaos
right,
engineering.
right. In fact, I'm also planning to add Dynatrace here. When I got the feedback that, sir,
Yeah.
you have added all open source, add one commercial tool. So I'm also planning to that. Maybe in a few 1 month, I'll be able to add this. So yeah,
Okay.
that, but
So
I cannot
how the
promise right now. But I'll be able
okay,
to.
okay. Even the recorded video, if you will get that help a lot. Like let's say
Right, right.
example,
I
if
don't
any
have as of now my recorded, but I am planning to add it. So mostly you would be the first batch I'll be adding Dynatrace. I have
okay,
got this request. I'm working on it. So I'll be adding it. So
okay. And I have joined which very late. Okay. Because, so I just want to ask like the classes will be on the weekends and the duration will be 4
weekends,
hours, right? Only the
weekends, two
weekends, right?
hours each. Saturday 2 hours, Sunday 2 hours. That's right.
Okay, just 2 days. Okay,
2
continuously,
days,
right?
Saturday, Sunday, 11
Mm.
a.m. to 1 p.m. That's right.
And how long this course will go? Like the duration,
3 months. 3 months it takes.
three
It
months.
takes approximately 40 to 45 hours of live sessions. So you can calculate
Oh,
4 hours in a
mhm.
weekends, and we cover 40 to
Understood.
45 hours. So you can calculate accordingly.
So let's consider 40, so it will stay in weekends.
If you cover 40 hours, then you can calculate it. So
Yeah, it's 10. Okay, almost
yeah,
12 weeks.
so
So
right,
it
right.
will
So
it will go to 3 months.
3 months. Yes. And not always 2 hours,
Okay.
okay? Because see, sometime I would like to understand how you guys are grasping. I may finish the
Hmm.
session in 1.5 hours. If you're able to take up everything, I'll continue for 2 hours. So it depends as well. Depends on the situation. Depends on how well you are able to understand, answer my question. If I think things are getting overwhelming, I stop it for 1.5 hours also. So it depends. So think
Okay.
like 3 months. Yeah.
Okay. And any help on the interview preparation part once we complete this activities?
Right, right. See, if you cover entire thing, right, you will be very much in a very
Automatically interview, yeah,
right,
covered,
right,
right?
right.
Okay. Thanks, Roshan, for answering all this.
Sure. So, friends, if you're looking to enroll, please reach out to Mr. Kumar from ISA. The phone number is mentioned. His name is Kumar Gupta. Please reach out to him. I'm going to share this link again to you. Please reach out to him. We are going to start our day one tomorrow. There is no exceptions. We're going to start our day one. So if you look at the course planning, we are going to start. So today is demo for 11 to 12 p.m. Again, tomorrow we're going to cover for 1 hour. Day two also 1 hour, and we will go full fledged with day three. So for 2 hours each. So we are starting day one from tomorrow. So everybody, please attend. Those who are looking to enroll, please attend, and we'll take it ahead.
Hi,
Okay,
Roshan.
yes.
Yeah. Is it possible to start at 10 o'clock or is it a fixed time?
See, I have a batch 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I take a batch with Edureka. So after 10, I can start, but I'll be exhausted. So I need some time. So I can start by 10:45 maximum, but I would not be able to start before that.
Yeah, because it's late in US. That's the reason.
US, right? Yes, yes, yes. That's
Yeah.
right. I can try for 10:30. I can maximum. I can try for 10:30. I can. That's what I can do.
Okay. Thanks.
Sure.
Roshan, just for information, in case somehow I could not join, I can get the recorded one because I
Yes,
already
yes. I
planned my
told you,
activity
right?
for
I
tomorrow.
told you. I showed you also, right? You'll be getting. I was showing you for every batch, right? You'll be getting this playlist.
Okay, okay, got it. Okay, then later part I have to follow and then do the practice
Yeah,
if
you
any
have to make
activities.
sure that
Uh,
you
pra
to go over this and
Practical session
attend
is
the next
going.
session. Yes.
Yeah,
See,
definitely.
every
No, we
session
have
is
already made them
important.
plan
And
for tomorrow. So yes,
go ahead, go
agree,
ahead.
agree. No. We have already planned our activities for tomorrow. So that's the reason I'm just telling
Tomorrow
you.
I'll
Otherwise,
just start with basics of cloud. So you can get the
mm,
recording and then you can join from the next weekend.
all right. Thanks, guys.
Sure.
Yeah, Roshan, Kiran here.
Go ahead, Kiran.
Yeah, regarding that Terraform and Ansible, you mentioned it's kind of automation tool. So would like to know like what kind of programming skills required to work on those tools.
What kind of required? What is
programming skills?
Programming. There are no programming skills required. Okay, those are declarative statement. Declare. You need to declare something, right? You need to, let's say, why do we use that? See, the companies like, let's say, banking companies, SBI, HDFC, or let's say your IRCTC. There are many servers, lot of infrastructure is required, right? So we cannot create those many servers, those many services manually. So that's why we use Terraform to automate infrastructure provisioning. So those are declarative statement. So you don't need any programming language as such. I'll guide you in a way that you will think, oh, it was that so simple. So don't worry, no programming language required, nothing. You don't require. But see, I always suggest, don't be scared of programs. Okay, start small. Okay, start small. If you just, let's say, I always say start Python programs. Let's say, don't be scared for while loop, for loop, and all. Don't worry, just start small. I'm going to give you a link today, this link. Just have one link with you and just start. Go small. Just learn how to add two numbers. Let's say, okay, you define two numbers, you add it. Fine. Then you just go one level up. Maximum, how to find maximum of two numbers. Okay, there is a function called max. You get the maximum of two numbers. See, go small. Okay, don't worry about programs. If statement, for statement, just go small and just don't worry about, just because we are in IT. Don't think you can become an SRE engineer without knowing any piece of code. It's not going to happen. You need shell scripting, you need Python scripting knowledge. That's one of the prerequisite of this. That's why we are teaching shell scripting. We are giving Python for some region. So we are expected to know this. So don't think, okay, I have never learned. Oh, nothing there. Just start small. How to find sum of arrays. Okay, get the array and just sum it. So start small. So first of all, for Terraform, no coding required. But don't be scared of coding or little small two-liners, three-liners coding. Don't be scared. Nobody's going to ask you, give me 100 lines of code. You need to have basic knowledge. If somebody asks you, how do you define a function? If somebody asks you, how do you define a function in Python? You should be able to answer. We use diff statement, we write this and we call the function. You should be able to answer simple questions. So start your journey of writing smaller code. Don't start big. Don't go at the end here. You'll get demotivated. Just go small, step one after the step. Okay, so do this. Okay. Any other questions?
So the both tools will capture the same.
Okay, you are on the Terraform Ansible. So Terraform, I told you, infrastructure automation it does. Ansible does configuration management. Once you have installed something, let's say you have hundreds of servers and you want to upgrade Java. So you have two options: log into each server and issue 5-6 commands and upgrade Java. Or let's say you have 500 servers. You know the commands to install a security patch. You know the commands. But you have 500 servers, you need to log into all the 500 servers and execute those commands. Will you do that, or you will find some automation way to do it? Automated way, right? So that's Ansible for you.
Okay.
So it's for the infrastructure. This is for the configuration. We will learn, don't worry, in a very simple manner. You will understand, you will be able to do things. In a very simple manner, we're going to learn. You will think, oh, it's just a cakewalk. So that's how I'm going to make you feel. Okay, friends, any other questions?
Okay, so Roshan, yeah, so I hope that there will be WhatsApp group will be creating for this.
We will be creating it once the final
yeah.
enrollment happens. We'll be creating a separate WhatsApp group. As I showed you.
Yeah.
As I showed you,
Understood.
again, I'll
No,
show you.
I'm a part of this Kumar training. Is Kumar sir training is many process. So I know that all the process.
Right.
Okay.
So you will be creating. Yes, we'll be creating a WhatsApp group. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay then. So we will utilize for our all the problem activities if we do practice and in getting any pickups, so we can. Okay.
Yes.
All right then. Thanks a lot, Roshan.
Thank you so much. Okay, friends. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thanks, Roshan. Thank you.
Thank you, Roshan.
Bye bye.